At the height of the gold rush, Rick Ness was one of the most successful miners. He lost his mind when a rookie mechanic fixed his $1 million excavator. A little boy did fix his $1 million machine. We will look at the details and ups and downs of Rick Ness's mining operations in this video. We will see how the seasons changed, how technology broke down, and how driven Ness was to find rare gold. Come with us as we look at the exciting shows, with a focus on how Rick Ness's never-ending search for wealth in the hard desert changes, succeeds, and fails. In his never-ending search for money, Rick finds himself traveling into uncharted territory because he thinks he has found his most important goal yet. His huge machine for moving dirt is gone, and his team is getting smaller. The odds are against him. When Rick realizes how serious the situation is and posts that a skilled mechanic is needed right away, it's a turning point. Now, a 20-year-old student becomes an important figure because he is asked to show off his skills by building the complex, multi-million-dollar 750 backhoe. The apprentice carefully attaches the bucket and 750 book stick, showing how complicated the job is. They were moved safely by a movable base set to a small gauge. The thought of having to deal with Duncan Creek's various terrain adds another level of difficulty. Torsten, the apprentice, changes the tracks expertly by slowly loosening the bolts that hold the chassis in place. He cleverly positions the digger with the help of the boom, showing how creative the team is when things go wrong. The 750's bucket is particularly impressive because it is so big. It's 3 times bigger than the 480's. Time is important for Rick and his team because they work in less than a half week. Their staff is only 4 people, and they don't have a fixed driver. Rick's earlier success, in which he made an average of just over 70 ounces of gold per week, is very different from this situation. The problems that are coming up show how strong, flexible, and determined the team is as they keep going after their huge gold goal. The group is aware that Carl, the gold miner, is not there and stresses how important he is to fixing machine problems. They both hope Carl gets better and our winter comes back quickly. Rick is not bothered by the passing of time. He decides to take advantage of the situation and buy the claim from its owner, promising to pay the 150 ounces that they had agreed upon. All of these show how unstable gold mining can be by showing both losses and wins. At the end, Rick makes a big decision that will affect the future of his business in Rally Valley. Even though it had snowed earlier in the season, Rick thought the big snowfall in the middle of winter was the first big snowfall of the year. Rockies will be closed for the year because of the snow, says Rick. This choice makes someone suddenly sneeze, which draws attention to the problems and irritations the mining operation is having. The fact that the pay in Rally Valley is so wet shows that they have hit the water table. To fix this, Rick adds a pump. Cutting that goes very quickly and exciting scenes. People say that the lack of progress the next morning is because the pump is too small, but it looks like there may be more issues. Rick decides out of the blue to take another pump without permission, which leads to a dry cut the next day. The story is mostly about the drama of the pump problem, but the water table's uneven effects make you wonder about some things. Since Rick has to pay $40,000 for the pump, it becomes more likely that Fred, who seems to have endless resources, could help with money. Even though there are problems and disagreements, the cleanup goes well, and 206.09 ounces of gold are found. These different kinds of problems and good outcomes show how unpredictable gold digging can be in the winter. As soon as winter comes early on Rick's claim, he might call all of his miners together for an encouraging speech and tell them to work harder. This is a common theme during the mining season. Rick sets up 2 machines to feed the 400-yard-per-hour wash facility so that he can get the most work done. One loader had electrical problems while it was working. These problems can be quickly fixed by cleaning the links between the batteries. Suddenly, a lot of the cut gives way, which makes the person angry and makes them swear and rub their face. Drone footage shows that the group quickly runs away because they are afraid for their lives and their gear. As the last step in the cleanup process is completed, an amazing 393 ounces are found. For the season, Rick has now weighed 2,047 ounces of gold. When you look more closely at the final gold weigh-ins, you can see that he found 19% of his gold in the last 4 weeks of the season. This is an amazing feat of gold mining. Overall, it was a great search, but do you remember when Rick's girlfriend showed up and saved the day? Lise, Rick's girlfriend, helps out a team member who is hurt. Rick's co-worker got lost in the mine madness of the bacon strip, but Elise's surprise truck skills turned things around. Rick now has 502 ounces of gold for the season, which was worth over $900,000. The crew won with 47 ounces of gold. To get to lower, nugget-rich ground, Rick Ness sped through the bacon strip at Duncan Creek. Riley, his new partner, wasn't at work, and he couldn't get in touch with him or tell him when he would be back. This made him angry. It made Rick feel bad, especially after a hard year. With only 2 rock trucks, Rocky could not work at full speed. Elise, Rick's girlfriend, offered to drive trucks to help. Rick gave it some thought, but in the end chose to let her learn with crews. Elise amazed everyone by being able to handle the basics and even learn more harder lessons, even though she had never been digging before. Rocky was back with 3 trucks, and Elise was driving one of them to help them move forward. Once again, Rick was pleased to see that the crew had reached 47 ounces of gold, which is more than $145,000. Rick has now caught 502 ounces this season, which is worth more than $900,000. This is a big accomplishment for the small group. The show ended with a funny moment where the crew made fun of Elise for something she did on the rock truck that no one saw coming. The Ness team has their best mining week yet, making almost $300,000. When Monster Red lost efficiency because of a problem with the pipeline, Rick Ness was put in a tough spot. And surprising 181 ounces of gold were found in just 70 hours, thanks to a quick fix for a finger trap and quick thought. Rick is now hoping to push to reach the season's gold goal. Rick is having a hard time with the water problem while it is snowing outside, which shows how the process is always affected by weather below freezing. He is honest about the problems they've had and stresses how important it is to have a pump to stop the groundwater from coming in all the time. Even though they face problems and setbacks, the group stays motivated to find the money that is hidden beneath the waves. Rick and the rest of the team face the water problem head-on to find a solution. The discovery of a strong 10-inch pump is a turning point, but it comes at a high cost that shows the unexpected costs that come with the gold rush. As things stand, they perfectly show the spirit of teamwork and determination that is needed to overcome unexpected problems in the never-ending search for gold wealth. As the strong pump is used to show that it can move a lot of water, the story keeps going in a clever way. The combined efforts of the team to get the pump going show the dedication and teamwork needed to deal with the unpredictable nature of gold mine. Even though there are problems, costs that weren't expected, and ongoing problems with the weather, Rick is still set about the gold output. The results that could be seen, the gold that was recovered, and the hope for future success show how determined and clever Rick and his team were in figuring out how the unpredictable gold mining business worked. As our look into the fascinating world of Gold Rush and Rick Ness's gold mine tries comes to a close, we have seen how luck can change quickly in harsh terrain and as the seasons change all the time. Rick's journey has been an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows, persistence, and finally success, from managing falls in the cut to dealing with early winter storms. The rough conditions of the mining season have shown off the pristine beauty of Alaska's wildness and the strong will of the people who go there in search of money. Rick's changes to his plans and the thrill of finding gold at the last minute have shown how unpredictable gold mining can be. We are shocked by the problems that were solved and the wealth that were found as we say goodbye to the drama, thrill, and excitement that make up Rick Ness's search for gold. In these thrilling and difficult episodes, the superheroic and warrior-like qualities of Tony
2017 left him obviously upset, and the fact that he was emotionally vulnerable in that way does not make mining any different. In the moment that Parker disclosed that he had declared bankruptcy, he accepted defeat, so revealing a level of betrayal that extended beyond monetary considerations.
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away.
I'm gonna go get a thermos.
Is there some gold here?
Yeah, we're gonna waste.
The stark fact that gold mining is unpredictable, hazardous, and may even be downright unpleasant is the subject of this narrative. The devastating disappointment that comes when you pour all you have, time, money, and sweat, into the land and the earth decides to keep its treasures buried is there. The joy of a good haul and the exhilaration of seeing numbers go up are only 2 examples of the emotions that can be experienced. In his time working in the mining sector, gold miner Parker Schnabel has seen a great deal of failure and difficulty in terms of his finances. In the gold mining industry, the highs are powerful, but the lows cause you to rethink everything, from the decisions you make in business to the relationships you have. Although fame can magnify achievement, it also has the potential to make defeat more isolated. Downsizing is not just about cutting costs. It is also about telling individuals who have put their trust in you that they do not have a job anymore. Parker may have to start making difficult decisions regarding his finances in order to do this. Dominion Creek presents yet another obstacle, which is the looming question of whether or not he will be able to keep things functional. In addition to the need for additional people, fuel, and equipment, the cash flow is beginning to dry up. There have been times when Parker's presence on social media has been a double-edged sword. While social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter allow him to maintain his connection with his supporters, they also provide the general public with a front-row seat to his shortcomings. It may be challenging to deal with this situation when he is attempting to maintain a positive mood for himself and his staff. The bond that Parker has with his family, and especially the teachings that he has learned from his grandfather, John Schnabel, is at the center of everything that is going on here.
Are you going to wheel me up?
Yeah.
Okay, anytime.
Parker has been able to persevere despite the fact that everything else appeared to be coming apart, because he learnt from him the qualities of hard work, tenacity, and perseverance. However, even these lessons do not necessarily make it easier to accept the hard realities of failure after they have been experienced. The mining of gold is not just about gold. It is also about hope, danger, and the belief that there is something greater waiting for you if you dig deep enough. In spite of the fact that Parker has spent the most of his life believing in that concept, he is suddenly confronted with the opposite side of the coin. When there is no gold at the bottom of the pan, what are the things that happen? Parker is not the first miner to suffer a significant loss, and it is highly unlikely that he will be the last. The fact that Parker is accomplishing all of this while millions of people are watching is what makes him stand out from the crowd. All of the mistakes and failures that have occurred are now available for the general world to view. It won't be simple for Parker to take the next step. It is difficult to make a living in mining, and the financial losses he has sustained are significant. However, it is possible that there is something to be said about the manner in which he continues to get up, even when circumstances appear to be dire. When it comes to gold mining, tenacity is just as important as luck, and Parker possesses both of these qualities in plenty. Is that sufficient to have a positive impact on the situation? Time is the only thing that can tell. A Dutch gold mine water from flowing properly, preventing the riffles from catching the gold, which washes out of the sluice box and is lost. Big Red needs to fix the screen to keep processing pay dirt efficiently. Mitch, Tyson, and the crew quickly fix the damage, emphasizing the screen deck's value. With the new screen, the crew restarts Big Red. The effective repair brings relief and satisfaction. Evan's rapid diagnosis saves the squad a lot of gold, proving his value. Over $90,000 is worth 51.6 ounces of runway cut gold. Running Big Red for a week might net $500,000 in gold. Slucifer has been efficient, digesting the chopped dirt and generating 336.05 ounces of gold, worth over $600,000. Parker's team is optimistic because both plants are running well. They appreciate being at the end of their huge mining activity and the effort required to move the wash plants. The crew wants to maximize the season and leave no gold behind as they reach the finish. Parker Schnabel's mining operation is running, but new challenges are straining the workers. Mitch Blaschke is carefully processing a lot of pay dirt from Parker's Indian River claim before the season ends. Mitch has shifted Evan, a young, energetic crew member, from rock truck to loader to help meet demand at Big Red and Slucifer wash plants, which are open 24/7. Despite these achievements, Parker adds a major task. Parker intends to establish a new operation in Alaska's Yukon in 3 weeks, with both wash plants working well in the bear cut and delivering over 1,800 ounces of gold.
Big moment! This is what we've been waiting for and working on all day, buddy. Let's do it!
The season's success depends on both plants working, as over half the area cleared, covering 4 million square feet. Mitch Blaschke must free up more land, including the Panama Canal Cut, a 10-acre cut. Mitch must dig up the only road connecting the camp to the current cutting and build a new road while maintaining critical access to the mine site after hitting frozen pieces and ice on the lone road to the camp. As they start this project, they discover the earth is frozen, aggravating the issue. Tyson informs Mitch that too many projects have left them without soil for the night shift. Parker's frequent plan modifications cause tension, but Mitch's crew is determined to finish the last 350 feet of the new road. They connect the new road just in time, allowing cars to dump pay dirt. With the new road, they can pile dirt and run wash machines. Parker's staff is under pressure to maximize gold production with limited time and resources. Machinery runs at maximum capacity as trucks load coarse tailings. Parker's all-or-nothing decisions push the crew. In 12 hours, they finish the road, enabling vital wash plant access. Mitch examines Parker's bold strategy, knowing that gold miners cannot hold gold underground. Justin and Tyson contend with frozen pay dirt impeding gold recovery in the machine. Cold spring weather makes the permafrost refuse to thaw. The frozen substance makes stripping and hauling difficult, despite their best efforts. Mitch agrees to temporarily shut down the plant to melt and strip after discussing the issue. Though risky, they believe it's necessary to maximize gold recovery over time. By freeing up labor and resources, they aim to strip more efficiently when the weather improves. The workforce prepares to melt and strip as the facility closes, knowing that their success depends on their ability to respond to challenges. They take the risk with drive and teamwork, knowing it will pay off. Parker's decision to cease operations on Big Red because of financial worries.
There you go. That's dead nuts. I just need a rock. Yukon hammer.
Is a deviation from their usual 24/7 running plan once sluicing begins. Parker takes this smart risk due to rising fuel costs and the need to boost income. Parker hopes postponing the wash plant will allow his staff to strip more land and expose it to the sun to thaw. The success of this strategy depends on good weather, which Parker is willing to risk. Nona Lovelace, the office manager turned heavy equipment operator, uses the 73-ton D10 dozer to cut through the deep permafrost. The frozen ground makes mining difficult, but Nona's passion drives her to go. Nona thinks mining is fun since you can overcome obstacles like permafrost. Due of permafrost's harshness, the D10 dozer's blade peels up, stopping progress. Big Red's downtime is compounded by this setback, placing pressure on the team to fix it soon. Technician Smith and welder Dan Colon rush to repair the D10 dozer and restore service. Their efforts show the gravity of the situation, as every moment missed means lost cash. After the suspended pay downtime, the crew resumes operations with relief and worry, despite the shortcomings. They made over $290,000 in gold during the shortened week. While this is a break, Parker knows their situation is terrible. With so much soil to process, any more delays could hurt the season. Parker Schnabel is meticulously planning to capitalize on a potentially successful pay streak with the 4-acre wolf cut on the other side of the claim. Parker wants to deliver 1,000 ounces of gold this season, so he needs to efficiently access the pay dirt, which is 30 feet underground. The crew must remove 100,000 yards of overburden to reach gold-rich soil. The approaching season makes this duty urgent and requires careful planning and hard work. The group meets many hurdles along an old
hand in Rick's most challenging hour. Who is this mystery person, and how will they impact Rick's quest for gold? Join us to delve into a mining adventure like never before that will lead to Rick's biggest gold haul ever. Success isn't just about luck, it's about rolling up your sleeves and putting in the hard work. That's something that the indomitable Rick Ness believes in. Now, he finds himself facing a daunting challenge, a gold production goal that seems to be slipping through his fingers. Despite the hefty investments in top-tier equipment, Rick is dealing with machinery issues. Different hurdles are emerging, putting a wrench in the gears of progress, but the twists and turns in this mining saga don't end there. On top of all that, Rick is at a crossroads, facing a crucial decision about the ownership of the land. But the heart of the challenge lies in the earth itself. The act of digging and extracting precious gold from the depths becomes a battle against time and nature. It's a struggle that Rick faces head-on, with determination etched on his face. In the vast expanse of the mining frontier, Rick Ness is facing a pivotal moment in his gold-hunting journey. Having staked his entire season on a daring move, a deep cut that promised a potential $5 million in gold, the reality is not living up to the glittering dream. The 190-foot deep cut, the bold gamble that could lead to a substantial payday, is yet to yield the expected results. The goal is 2,000 ounces of gold, but this weight of the goal hangs heavy on Ness's shoulders, not just for the sake of his crew, but for his own survival in the unforgiving world of gold mining, a world into which Rick has poured his heart, soul, and a considerable amount of resources, expecting a gold rush that would make headlines. However, the reality is a bit different. The very ground he walks on holds the key to his mining empire's destiny. However, the landowner has different plans for Rick. Troy Taylor, who is the owner of Duncan Creek, the claim on which Rick is working under the lease, pays an unexpected visit to Rick, who is already under stress for not meeting the gold production goal. Cutting right to the chase, Rick questions the purpose behind Taylor's unanticipated visit, and Taylor, without beating around the bush, dives straight into the heart of the matter. His revelation hangs in the air, laden with potential implications. He wants to sell the Duncan Creek. Rick is now confronted with a significant personal decision. The prospect of owning his own ground looms large, and the gravity of this choice could reshape the entire trajectory of his mining journey. Imagine the dilemma. On one side, the security of owning the land beneath which potential fortunes lie, and on the other, the challenge of meeting the production goals with the clock ticking. It's a decision that could either propel Rick into a new era of mining success or add another layer of complexity to his already intricate venture. But that's not the interesting part. Taylor, with a matter-of-fact demeanor, reveals the terms. $250,000 as a down payment, equivalent to 150 ounces of gold. Now that's how you make a deal with the gold diggers. Surprised by the unexpected proposition, Rick finds himself deep in thought. The idea of owning the very land he's been working on is both appealing and overwhelming. Unsure about taking such a significant step, Rick acknowledges that he is not sure if he can take such a massive step at this already challenging moment. The financial commitment attached to this decision plays on his mind, creating a whirlwind of considerations. As the discussion unfolds, Rick wrestles with the weight of this unforeseen opportunity. The offer of $250,000 or 150 ounces of gold is undeniably substantial. Troy Taylor, after presenting the terms, leaves Rick to contemplate the magnitude of the decision. The gravity of the situation hangs in the air, and Rick is left to grapple with the potential impact on his gold mining journey. The allure of ownership clashes with the daunting prospect of financial responsibility, setting the stage for a pivotal moment in Rick Ness's mining saga. How will the mind boss navigate this unexpected twist in the tale? Will he seize the opportunity, or will the weight of the decision prove too much? The stakes are high, the pressure is on, and the future of Duncan Creek claims hangs in the balance, but it's the mind boss we're talking about. And to make the decision, he has to tackle the other obstacles first. Every miner knows that a glitch in the machinery can translate to lost time and, more importantly, lost gold. Despite heavy investments and state-of-the-art machinery worth millions, the results are not quite hitting the mark. It's a tough spot to be in, especially when your aspirations are